At least 4 people have died and 70 houses destroyed by a hailstorm that hit some parts of KwaZulu-Natal at the weekend. Immediate disaster relief aid in the form of blankets and other basic essentials have already been rolled out to affected communities in Mtubatuba. We speak now to Newzroom Afrika's Ntando Mnyandu, who is there. Ntando, are you standing by to show us the level of devastation and also speak to some of the residents where you are in terms of their immediate needs?
Yes, certainly, Tutuzile. You know, as we were driving here, we are at the heart of the northern part of KwaZulu-Natal. The area that we are coming to you live from is called Emapheleni in Mtubatuba, which is on the northern part of KwaZulu-Natal. You know, as we were driving in here, a trail of destruction was visible, and it was quite evident. You know, we spoke to one of the community members who was even struggling to walk, saying that when the house they live in was hit by the hailstorm, you know, and strong winds, you know, she endured some injuries. But right now where I'm standing at the Kwamtetwa homestead. Now here we have witnessed, you know, a number of government officials coming here to see the family. This family lost a 16-year-old boy who was, you know, asleep with his grandmother when the hailstorm, you know, attacked this area. As my colleague, you know, Sbo Nyaba tries to pen and show you the extent of the damage. You know, there is a roundabout built by stones and mortar. The roof was completely toppled off, and they tried to use that tent, you know, to cover themselves. Just on the right of that roundabout, you will see a small, you know, flat shack built by stones and mortar as well. If you see the roof, you know, was almost toppled off. But on my far right, which will be at the left of your screen, you will see a house that has no roof. You know, that's what is left of this house. You know, when the wind and the hailstorm attacked this place, it toppled the roof completely, you know, and parts of the walls fell onto the grandmother and this little boy as they were sleeping, you know, when everything happened. But I have with me the neighbor, you know, who was here and who witnessed everything when it happened. Siswami, uboneni ngesikhathi kuhlasela isiphepho?
Usimenyiwe lo kwaMkhwanazi okhulumayo omakhelwane. Into eyenzekile ngalesi sikhathi kuhlasela isiphepho, kungena ingane ekhaya seyigijima izongivusa izosho ukuthi nangu ugogo uselimele lapha endlini kanye noJohn. Kwasho ukuthi ke vele ifika asilele nathi sibhizi siyabamba nathi singakubamba ngoba bekade sihlasele kuyo na yonke indawo kuyo yona yonke imize ngomakhelwane lana. Ngempela ke ngakushiye kwakithi ngagijima ngeza lana engithema ngabe ngifika ngempela ngiyamfica umntwana uselele engeke ngize ngikwazi ukusho ukuthi ubengasaphili ngoba engikunotisile ukuthi ubesashisa noma mhlawumbe umphefumulo ubusanda kuphuma ugogo bese lokho ekhalile njalo nje. Yilokho engingasho ukuthi ngikubonile. Ngazama ke ngayo yonke indlela ukuba ngibasize ngendlela bengaba ngayo, ngazama ukufonela amakhansela, ngafonela nomakhelwane abanye ukuze kube ukuthi kube usukwini la izolo ekseni ke ila ngithole khona usizo ngoba ikhansela liqhamukile lazobona umonakalo wenzakele ngoba namaphoyisa ngiwathintile nabama ambulance esibhedlela kaHlabisa ngifonelile nakhona bangitshena ukuthi ama ambulance abakwazi ukuphuma ngenxa ukuthi ixobe kagesi nakhona seyiwile zawele emgwaqeni.
Siswami, ngabe kujwayeleke kangakanani ukuhlasela kwesimo sezulu kweyiphepho nezikhukhula kule ndawo ngoba ngiyabona ayinayihlahla umoya mawuvunguza uyayifikela nje ushaya imizi yabantu?
Yabona ke bhudi la emapheleni kungokuqala nqa sihlaselwa yiphepho noma siyibona mhlambe eindaweni ezingomakhelwane kodwa nje kulesi sethi sigceme kuyaqala nqa ngoba nabadala kuthina bayasho ukuthi lokho kwenzakele bayaqala.
Siyabonga kakhulu Siswami.
Yebo ngiyabonga kakhulu nami.
Well, as you hear, Dudu, you know, the neighbor is telling us what really transpired transpired when this hailstorm hit this homestead. He says a child, ran into her own home, which is a neighboring house, and then alerted them that something was wrong in this homestead. When she arrived, she says she found the young boy, lying still, and the grandmother was crying out for help. What she says is that she could not, ascertain if the boy had already lost his life or he had just lost his life. But then she went out trying to find help up until help was found. And she tells us that such incidences, an incident such as this one is happening for the first time in this area. But what I can tell you is that KwaZulu-Natal has, become, a frequent feature, when it comes to storms and flooding. Whilst the province is still trying to rebuild itself, now this happens. But we will keep you updated. Provincial government is here. We have identified the Premier as well, Mtubatuba, who is visiting families. At least 4 people lost their lives around this area. So we'll try and keep track. But what I can tell you is that walking in here, we had to park very far, because electricity poles, electricity lines are all over the road. It's hard to access this deep rural area. But for now, it's back to you in studio.
Okay. Ntando, thank you very much for that report. Hopefully, we'll get to hear from the relevant authorities in terms of interventions and assistance for that particular community.